All right. Hey, welcome to another Chat with Nat. This is Calling All Investors.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited about today. This is actually really cool because Natalie, I haven't seen something that is just got me on fire and stoked piece of property for at least do the math here, since December 2022.
Yeah, December 2022. Well, November 2022.
That's correct.
And that is the house that we are sitting in currently.
But with that said, yesterday I was driving down a road that's very close to our house, and there's a sign that I saw that just popped up, and quickly our daughter jumped out of the car and said, "How much are you selling this house for?" I looked it up, and it was going for under $500,000, ocean view, total major fixer-upper, right?
Yeah.
$399,000.
Oh my gosh. Under $500,000 in Ventura feels like a unicorn anyway. And this is a home with a great view.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a very big lot, and the house is a tear down.
Yeah. Well,
But this is land value, and it's worth more than that.
here's the thing. I have been through so many teardowns at this point.
Yeah.
The chance of them getting torn down are like 1 out of 50, I think, that I've been through. I'm just throwing that number out. I don't know what it is, but they're like almost never torn down. I remember seeing and finding this in 2020, this place on the ocean. I mean, technically there's one house in front of it. Okay. Like literally across the street, there was the ocean. Okay. Just south of Rincon, Muscle Shoals, $600,000. And everybody's like, "Oh, you can't find an oceanfront property for under $1 million." Okay. The house sold for $600,000. They put a new roof on it, fixed it up. And of course it's worth, $1 million plus.
Well, and that one, they were also saying this is a complete tear down.
Oh, yeah.
This is only for land value.
Yes.
And they're expecting somebody to tear it down and build a gigantic 3-story house there. But the person said, "You know what? This is what I got, and this is what I'm doing."
And the math on that is, again, 2020, 3 years later, the house in front of it just sold. Total fixer-upper, by the way.
And it was a fixer.
On the ocean. You did a video on it.
I
so
did
you guys
do a video.
Should go back to that, ocean fixer-upper. It was the poker, what was it? The poker carpet.
Oh, yeah. There was carpeting that was poker themed in the garage. It was so classic.
That house sold for $3.5 million. So again, there are these houses that come up, and yes, they're unicorns. Yes, they're diamonds in the rough. And when I say rough, I mean really like it's coal, and you're going to have to make it into a diamond by doing a lot of gosh darn hard work and, planting the seeds and letting it grow and letting your investment, flourish.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it. But again, $399,000.
I know. And I mean, it will have to be all cash. So that's going to eliminate some people that they think, "Oh, I could live in this and fix it up or, get a loan." No, you cannot. It is one of those pieces of property that has to be cash only because it will not qualify for a loan.
Yeah. And most likely, you're going to have so much push right now with so many investors trying to get into that. And there's a lot of cash on the sidelines. It will most likely go, 10 to 20% higher than what it is right now.
I could, I mean, I don't want to put it out there because I don't want it to happen. I want one of my investors to, be able to scoop this up. But I have a feel like in my gut, I feel like I know where it's going to land, and it's.
Well, yes, same here. Yeah. Same here, because the value of it. Like even
I know the value, and I know the type of market that we're in. There's not a lot of inventory. There's not a lot out there for investors right now. There are people that have cash that are sitting on the sidelines. So this is, but if you can make that deal, if you can get in and be the one to get that, this is a great buy. And I want to say that not to discourage you, but to encourage you, because it's never going to be the right time, or it's not going to be, the right price or whatever, but there's always deals to be had out there. Like you were saying, 600,000. I mean, even the Ocean View property at 3 million, the house was very solid. You could have just done a little cosmetic remodel on that thing and had maybe a $6 million house. Who knows?
Yeah. I look at it and there's always stuff that comes up. Mm-hmm. It goes back to what you were talking about earlier. People have a tendency to believe, I got to get that off-market deal. And I'm telling you, every single property that we've ever purchased is on market. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all about talking to people. I'm all about, knocking on doors myself, and you're the realtor. I'm not, and I'm just saying, hey, you want to sell your house, this, that, and the other. I've done that, early in my day. There was a house that I looked at in, this area over in Malibu, and I knocked on the guy's door, and, he said, yeah, I'd sell this right now for $700,000.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but, and I should have.
Of course, 700,000 back then, because you're ancient old. No, I'm just kidding.
I am ancient old. And yes, 700,000 back then would probably be an equivalent of, a 1.5 or something to that extent.
Even more at this point with the appreciation of houses. But what's crazy is, now knowing what we know about real estate and having been investors now for a while, like at that point of your life, you probably thought there's no way that I could come up with 700,000, but there's always a way to work the deal, especially when you're talking to the owner, there's always a way to figure it out.
There is. And the other thing is too, the time is never perfect. I mean, it's interesting because you sit there and you're like, okay, well, this is a great time, to, buy because interest rates are still in the single digits, but you may not be, working, or you may not, there's a lot of parts of the equation that, come into practice. But the reality of it is it's never the perfect time. I mean, I've never had the perfect time, but what I have had is sitting back and saying, okay, you know what, do I want to do this and, spend a lot of time, energy, and effort into this? And sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. I mean, it's really a big question of balance. And again, hard work and hard, it stresses in your life because you have to choose, okay, you know what? I'm not going to go eat out every single night. I'm going to invest it into this vanity that I just bought, and maybe the vanity, because I'm talking about, I just got that vanity. Maybe the vanity that you want isn't available. Like, in stores right now because of quote supply chain or this or that, but you just have to be patient. You have to know what you want. When it comes up, you've got to jump on it.
And you got to go get it.
And you got to go get it.
Down to Redondo and back.
Yeah. Well, and it's so funny. There is a property that was really close to our wheelhouse in the sense that it was a fixer-upper. It was what we wanted, but there's only one thing. It wasn't facing the way that I wanted it to face. And what I'm saying right now is there's a place on the water that I really wanted to be on the water down in Ventura. But I've come to the conclusion that I really want to have a place that has the, view of the west. So when I come home at night, I can see those. You
can have a sunset view. As opposed to a sunrise view.
Now, and one came up almost exactly what I wanted. Okay. We loved the deck in the back. We loved the
layout of the house.
And the whole
footage.
Thing. Loved it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't facing the right way. So then you just ask yourself, oh, okay, do I really need that? Well, I kind of do. And the reason why is because most of my time of enjoyment, from coming home at work, having the kids come home from school, is usually a little bit in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I want to go in the backyard, not the front yard.
Right. I mean, when you have, if you have a boat or you've got the paddle boards or something like that, when you're sitting in the backyard and there's no sunshine, then you're like, oh, do I really want to go and get wet right now? Oh, do I really want to go and do that? But whereas if you're west facing, if you've got that sunset view, then the sun's going down and you're like, let's go for a paddle, let's go enjoy that. Let's go take the boat out instead of saying, oh, it's kind of cloudy. Do I really want to go through all that trouble right now? And, it makes a difference in the way that you live. Now, if you are an early riser and you want to do yoga on your deck and, watch the stingrays in the water while you're, absorbing the morning sun, then you do want an east-facing house. It really just depends on the way that you're going to utilize the property.
Yeah. And I'm excited going back to this ocean view property. I'm excited that I'm starting to see things that I really love. And the ocean view, a little bit of property, a little bit of land, total fixer-upper, something to basically get my hands dirty and work hard, to make nicer. So I think that's going to happen more. I think we're going to see more of that stuff. I think we're going to see more of those unicorns. And at the same time, one of my hesitants, is, and you know this, I'm always a big fan of going against everybody else. Yeah. And usually a lot of the stuff that we have done, there's been really no pressure. Okay. The pressure is the pressure that we put on ourselves. Okay. So first place, that we got, down in Burbank, same thing.
It had been sitting on the market for months. Yeah. And we sat there and we're like, this makes sense. Now it's funny because there was another property that actually made more gain sense. Okay. It made a lot more gain sense, but it didn't surpass the, monthly income potential of the property that we were looking at. Right. So if you were going to sell them both today, one was maybe considered more,
sure,
the value is more there today. But as far as income generating, we would not have been able to live in it and rent a place out, because this one, our Burbank house has a guest house. Yeah. So you would not have been able to have the rental income, and then you would not have been able to, it doesn't rent for the same amount, just because you've got two properties as opposed to one.
But I loved the other one. I really did. And it was a very kind of hard for me to, choose which one, because again, one was few blocks over in a better area, in a better, nicer, gain staging in the whole thing. And I sat down. That was a situation where, I knocked on the door. It was for sale, as listed. And I sat down with the owner. And I love the owner. I mean, I really hit it off. And I'm like, oh, this is a good fit. But it wasn't the right deal, for us.
Right.
So, but it goes back to
that would have meant your mother was living with us.
Yes.
Instead of in the guest house.
Yes. But going back to it, that's what we're hopefully going to, get into, is where you don't have that kind of pressure.
The pressure to, I got to get a deal right now.
And we still have that, right now. And again, going back to the second one, it was the same thing, second purchase, it had been sitting on the market for a long time, a while. Now it's so funny because, as once you get interested in it, there's something that is in the cosmos
it's in the air.
The minute you get interested, somebody else gets interested in it.
I know.
And that's exactly what happened. It had been sitting. We looked at it. Somebody was walking by with their dog, and they're like, oh, well, we're interested in this. And they were interested. They went and bought another house after that, but they were going to
around the corner.
It was going to become a bidding war. Same thing, the place that we're in now. It was sitting. Now this one went fairly quickly, but again, it was during a period of time that everybody kind of was hesitant with where things are going to go, what things are going to happen. I don't think we're into that yet. We're getting there, but I don't think we're quite into that. I think right around the corner. I think right after this summer, I think getting into 2024, but nobody's got a crystal ball.
Nobody's got a crystal ball. The best time to buy real estate was 5 years ago.
Oh gosh. But you can get right now. Again,
that's the old adage.
Ocean view property here in Ventura for under $500,000.
Well, we think we don't know where it'll end up, but yeah, it's listed.
Don't. It's a roulette ball, but right now it's listed $399,000 fixer upper.
Right. Yeah. But, just because there's a lot of investors interested doesn't mean that they're going to come through with the cash, and doesn't mean that they're going to put in an offer. They may all think, gosh, there's a lot of interest on this. I'm going to find something else.
There are a lot of tire kickers. Yes.
Well, and then also I want to say there's another adage in real estate, and that's the old rule of threes. So if a house comes up on the market on a street, there's usually two more that will be listed within a 6-month period in that neighborhood.
Yeah. And that's what I want. I want about 2 months. I need to finish the current drywall and finish the 2 bathrooms. And I want 2 more months to do that. And then I'll feel good because things will be finished. I'll need a new project.
Yeah, you will need a new project. We got to keep you busy.
Yeah.
While you're young. All right, folks. Well, calling all investors. If you want more information on that property that we talked about, give me a call. My phone number is 818-641-3259. And of course, I'm Natalie Oman with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, California Properties, DRE 0208-5495. And this is my co-investor.
Those are a lot of numbers.
Johnny. Just Johnny.
Just Johnny.
Just Johnny.
Take care, you guys.
All right. Have a good day.